You have 4 weeks to complete your Game of Apps mini project. Do you A, do work on it right away, or B, wait till the last minute? Well, if you're implementing lazy instantiation, you would choose B, wait till the last minute. Hello there! We're doing our very first Game of Apps YouTube channel giveaway. So you could win either one of these, two toques, different styles. This one here is has no fold in it and it's shorter. This one's longer and has this fold in it. They're both embroidered with the Game of Apps logo in our colors right here. So, why are we doing this giveaway? Well, shameless plug, we want you to subscribe to our channel and we want you to like this video and put in a comment. So that's how you enter. Subscribe to our channel, like this video, and put in a comment as to why you want to win one of these. You get to choose which one. So if you're selected, then you can tell us which one you want. We will be doing the draw on December 31st, 2020, so at the end of the year. So this will be a nice New Year's present for you. And if you win, we will announce this in this channel, and then we will mail this to you via mail. So if you're watching this after December 31st, 2020, then sorry, we've already given it away. But stick around because we'll have other giveaways throughout the year. So again, subscribe to our channel, like this video, and put in a comment, and you can win one of these. All right, so today we'll be talking about lazy instantiation. What's that, you may ask? Well, first off, if you are working on a project, don't wait till the last minute. Lazy instantiation is a very specific mechanism that we use a lot in programming, but it doesn't apply for working in projects. So what is lazy instantiation? So think of it this way. You're playing a game. So you have a game that you're playing, and you start up the game. It starts loading, so it's downloading stuff from its server. There are 10 levels to the game. Does the game download all 10 levels before you start? No, it doesn't. It only downloads the first level because that's the level that you'll be playing on. It doesn't need to download levels 2, 3, 4, 5, and others because you may not get to it. You may die before you get there, and then you don't need to do level 2, or you may just get bored and you stop playing the game. So there's no need to load all of it up front, because what happens is that it only prolongs your startup time. So here we want to maintain the user's startup time as short as possible. So we only load the things that we need to load right away. The other levels, we will load them later when we need to. We may never need to. In that case, we just saved on our loading time. So lazy instantiation works in a very similar way. So let's take a look at our code here. So here, this is the menu class from our food ordering app. We have a property called dishes by cuisine, which is basically a dictionary or a hash map with a list of cuisine names and the list of dish objects that correspond to that cuisine name. So what we're doing here is we need to populate the menu. We need to create this dictionary in this method here before it's accessible. Now, we could create this. We could call populate menu in the constructor. So if we had a constructor menu, public menu, we could do populate menu here. So what that means is when this menu object is created, we will immediately call populate menu and execute all this logic here to populate the dictionary. So that's valid. That could be done. But what if this was never called? So what if we've populated it, but then for whatever reason in the sequence of logic in your app, this method was never called. So if this method was never called, then we just populated the menu for nothing. We've wasted processing time. When this menu object was created, it took us a little bit longer to return because we had to do some processing. So this may not be the best way to do it. So the way we've implemented here is, instead of calling populate menu in the constructor, we call it here in this method. This method is what we would call like a getter method, because this method is used to retrieve this private property. So we call that a getter method. The method does only one thing: it returns this property. So it allows us to keep this property as read-only, because you can't write to it, you can only retrieve it, and you retrieve it through this getter method. So that's what it does here, returns. But what we've done is we've inserted an extra additional logic here. The first time you call the getter method, menu will be null because it's initialized as null when it's first constructed. So if menu equals null, that means this is the first time you're calling the getter method. We haven't populated it yet. So at this point, we populate the menu. So we call this method. And then after that, we return. So the first time you call this getter method, we take a little bit of a hit, a performance hit, because we do the population at that time. But the second time and all subsequent times you call this getter method, menu will no longer be null because we've already created it here in our populate menu. So in the second and subsequent times, this will evaluate to false and will just directly return menu. So what lazy instantiation does is it doesn't take your hit when you first create this object, because you may never need to retrieve this property, but it takes the hit the very first time you retrieve this property. At that point, it instantiates that property, and then it returns that to you. And the second and all subsequent times, since that property has already been instantiated or created, then it just directly returns that object. So that's what lazy instantiation is all about. A very useful method, a mechanism for programming. So use it wherever it makes sense in your code, but don't use it when you're submitting projects for Game of Apps. That's it for today. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.